right now on 5 on your side at 10.
You can put away the umbrellas for a few days, but we do have some rain and thunderstorm chances in the 10-day forecast. I'll time them out.
Missing letters and delayed deliveries. Tonight, a Missouri lawmaker's push to put his stamp on cleaning up a mail mess in St. Louis. Our top story, a call for consequences following pro-Palestinian protests at Washington University.
What does free speech mean if free assembly isn't allowed?
More fallout tonight on campus, marred in the debate over speech versus safety.
I'm afraid of physical violence, especially because of what I've seen at other universities.
Breaking developments tonight regarding those protests. Just hours ago, we learned WashU has placed St. Louis Board of Aldermen President Megan Green on paid administrative leave. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. She shared the letter she received from the university with 5 on your side. Green, who teaches domestic, social, and economic development, was part of Saturday's protest but was not arrested. She posted videos of the arrest on social media. The university has banned Green from campus and barred her from interacting with her students pending a review. Tonight, the chancellor of Washington University says the school will take serious action against students who violated the university's code of conduct.
He also wants to press charges against the 100 pro-Palestinian protesters arrested on campus this weekend. Laura Barcheski is live on campus tonight and talk with members of the WashU Jewish community who say they feel unsafe.
Mike and Kelly, Jewish students say they're having a hard time after what happened this weekend. Not only do they not feel safe, they're also angered by what some of the demonstrators did. Washington University freshman Aaron Goodman says the unrest and protests on campus were very hard to avoid and frustrating for Jewish students like himself.
The past week, I've been trying to focus on exams, and I haven't been able to because of everything that's going on. I'm afraid for other people, for the other students, for my friends who are also themselves afraid.
WashU sophomore Charlie Weingarten says she feels emotionally unsafe.
Looking out on this sea of individuals with these keffiyehs and signs calling for the mass murder of Jews, whether or not they're aware of it, was like, there's not a word. If there was a word stronger than terrifying, I would use it.
The university's chancellor called the protest anything but peaceful and penned a lengthy response, saying in part some of the protesters were behaving aggressively, swinging flagpoles and sticks. Some were attempting to break into locked buildings or to deface property. There were chants that many in our community find threatening and anti-Semitic. Campus Rabbi Jordan Gerson had some even stronger words for it.
It was an anti-Israel, anti-Jewish hate rally, which called for violence against the Jewish community, with calls for intifada. Which called for the destruction of the state of Israel, which used hate speech as declared by the U.S. Congress, and was in violation of campus policy.
But there are other Jewish students who are a part of a group that supported the protest on Saturday.
I'm a member of the Jewish Students of Palestine group. There is a number of us, and I think there's a lot of framing of Palestinian liberation versus Jewish safety. And I truly, through my entire core, believe we can and we must have both.
Penelope says she believes in the demands put forward, including a call to WashU to divest from Boeing.
And I think to exclusively focus on Jewish safety through militarily arming Israel is something that fundamentally does not ring true to me.
Both Gerson and Goodman say they appreciate the response from WashU officials.
If WashU didn't give the response that it gave, then I would not be happy going here. But now that I see the university has taken the initiative to do the right thing, I am so much more in support of students coming here.
The chancellor closed his statement with this: to those who plan to continue to come to campus with the intention of disrupting our education and research mission and violating our policies, please know we will respond proportionately each and every time. You will not do this here. Reporting live in St. Louis, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And dozens of pro-Palestine demonstrators are planning to march on the campus of St. Louis University this week. Today, hundreds marched peacefully through the University of Missouri campus in Columbia. The class walkout was organized by the group Mizzou Students for Justice in Palestine. Jewish students also made their voices heard by speaking of the hostages and those killed in the brutal October 7th attack by Hamas.
A new flashpoint tonight and the college campus protests moving across the country. Columbia University in New York has started suspending pro-Palestinian demonstrators who refused to abandon their encampment despite a 2 p.m. deadline. The students vowed to stay put until their demands are met. They include an end to the Israel-Hamas war and that their schools stop doing business with Israel. New tonight, a St. Louis County Fire Department is sounding the alarm. The Monarch Fire Protection District in Chesterfield says it needs more ambulances to keep up with emergency responses.
5 on your side's Robert Townsend heard the fire chief's concerns during a public meeting tonight. Robert.
Kelly and Mike, the first of 3 public meetings on this hot issue kicked off this afternoon and wrapped up about an hour ago. Take a look. Right now, the Monarch Fire Protection District only has 4 ambulances for 5 fire stations. Now, the firefighters and paramedics serve about 80,000 residents in 7 communities, including unincorporated St. Louis County. Fire Chief Russ Adams says with more population growth coming to the area in the future, the department must increase its fleet. Possible tax increases are on the table. Now, the first proposed levy option is for a 15-cent increase. The fire district wants to hear from residents.
The firefighters, the paramedics, they do an amazing job in this community. They do the best they can. And now I'm learning that they're doing it scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of, revenue and proper equipment.
We need this to be worked out with the community and see where we're going from here. We need to get that at least 1 ambulance, if not 2 ambulances, the personnel to run them, and that way we can better serve this community.
Another public meeting will be held tomorrow and again on Saturday. You can find all of those details, plus the fire department's community survey right now on our website. That's KSDK.com. Live in Chesterfield, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Gus's pretzel shop will reopen tomorrow, 3 days after a driver slammed into the South St. Louis business. The impact left a gaping hole in the corner of the building on Arsenal. The city inspector was out today and deemed it safe. No business was lost. Gus's is normally closed on Sundays and Mondays. The owner says that part of the building is used for storage and not part of its retail and production. As far as the driver, police say she ran off after the crash. Officers later found the 23-year-old woman injured and took her to the hospital tonight. She faces charges.
The man accused of hitting and killing a teen near Ted Drew's will be in court next month for a plea hearing and sentencing. Jacob Adler's trial was supposed to start today. He's charged in the deadly hit-and-run crash that killed 17-year-old Matthew Nicolai outside the frozen custard stand on Chippewa in 2022. A Good Samaritan at an auto body shop turned him in when he went to get his truck fixed. Adler's plea hearing is set for May 23rd. Week 2 of the Thomas Kinworthy murder trial got underway today. Kinworthy is accused of shooting and killing St. Louis police officer Damaris Bohannon in 2020. Today, the defense called an expert to the stand who says Kinworthy should be found not guilty by reason of mental defect. Prosecutors argued Kinworthy had almost no history of mental illness. That trial is expected to wrap up this week.
Tonight, the man who survived a deadly shooting while on a first date is thankful the shooter was convicted of murder.
I lost everything. I've lost my life without being killed.
Christopher Smith was shot in the head right before Thanksgiving 2021 at his home in Farmersville. His date, Leslie Reeves, was killed. Her ex-boyfriend, Robert Tarr, was found guilty last week. Smith is working to rebuild his life and learn to walk again.
My left arm still doesn't really work, but it's starting to come back a little bit. With my leg, I've got the bioness, but I work out 5 days a week and I just keep going. Don't ever give up on anything in life. Never give up.
Releasing a book this fall. He is also performing with his band again. He plans to make a victim impact statement when Tarr is sentenced in July. He faces a minimum of 76 years behind bars. Tonight, more pressure for the U.S. Postal Service to step up its service and get mail delivered on time.
U.S. Senator Josh Hawley now calling on the government to audit all post offices in St. Louis County, and St. Charles County. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon explains this latest request from lawmakers. Brent?
Well, Mike, Kelly, I just got my hands on this letter that Senator Josh Hawley penned to the Inspector General today. He says it's time to get to the root cause of why so many people's mail is being delayed. Hawley isn't the first lawmaker calling for change.
And certain things that I'm like really in a hurry to get, I know I just probably won't get it on time.
Lowered expectations for some St. Louis area neighbors who cite ongoing mail delays. This woman, who lives in the city's Hyde Park area, asked not to be identified.
I sometimes get it maybe once or twice a week, and it's normally in a pile. So it looks like it's been accumulating for, some time.
For other neighbors,
I think mostly just inconsistency, right? I don't know. I don't really have an understanding of what to expect. Therefore, I don't really think I have expectations.
It finds U.S. Senator Josh Hawley ringing the alarm. In this letter Monday, he writes, quote, one resident in the St. Louis area said she had not received her mail in more than 3 months, resulting in late bills and financial harm to her small business. Others described losing access to prescription medications and security checks. He's now calling on the government to audit all post offices in St. Louis County, and St. Charles County. His request comes 2 months after Congresswoman Cori Bush penned this letter to the Postmaster General, citing, quote, systematic staffing issues and calling on improved working conditions for post office workers. Whatever the fix, people just want a resolution.
It seems like even stuff I'm sending local, sometimes it'll take a week to get there, sometimes it's there in 2 days.
Before I was angry, now I've gotten used to it, hopeful that it's going to change and get better.
Hawley is asking the Inspector General to respond to his office within 2 weeks. We reached out to the Postal Service today, a spokesperson telling us, quote, we will respond directly to the senator regarding his concerns.
Ringing the wrong doorbell almost ended his life.
We refuse to let Ralph's suffering be in vain.
Tonight, the legal action the family of a Missouri teen is taking against the elderly homeowner accused of shooting him. Credit crunch.
Credit report is like an x-ray into a person's finances.
But your score may not be accurate. Tonight, steps to ensure someone else's mistakes won't cost you.
Rivers are running high. We do have more rain and thunderstorm chances in the extended forecast. I'll time it all out.
They lost their lives after they gave us the opportunity to be in a safe place.
Tragedy tonight in Charlotte, North Carolina. About an hour ago, we learned a 4th officer has died following a shooting. 4 other law enforcement officers were wounded when they were met by gunfire while serving warrants at a home. 1 suspect is dead. 2 other persons of interest are being questioned.
The family of a Missouri teen who was shot in the head after ringing the wrong doorbell has filed a civil lawsuit. Ralph Yarl's family is suing the man who shot him and his homeowners association for negligence. 85-year-old Andrew Lester also faces criminal charges for the shooting last April. The teen went to the wrong address when he went to pick up his younger siblings.
This incident not only shattered our family, but also exposed a critical gap in our societal fabric, where the safety of our children is jeopardized by reckless actions.
It's not clear yet what damages are being sought. Yarl suffered a traumatic brain injury. Lester claims he was afraid and defending himself. His criminal trial is set to begin in October.
Tonight, the federal government is handing down major fines to the top wireless providers for sharing your personal data. The FCC says the fines stem from complaints the carrier shared geolocation history information to third parties for years. AT&T is fined $57 million. Verizon was fined nearly $47 million. The merged companies, T-Mobile and Sprint, were fined a total of $92 million. All of them plan to appeal. Imagine being turned down for a loan or paying higher interest rates due to errors on your credit report.
It happens more often than you might think, and the negative consequences don't stop there. Tonight, Consumer Reports shows you how to check the accuracy of your credit score.
Back when he was in college, Nestor Vargas got a surprise trying to buy a car.
Went to go apply for a loan, a car loan, and I was denied because they found a unpaid bill, a medical bill.
But Nestor knew that he never missed a payment.
I was shocked. I went to the credit report bureaus and I put in a claim knowing that that wasn't accurate.
Credit report errors are the top consumer issue filed to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And the problem is getting worse, with complaints more than doubling in just 2 years. Common errors include inaccurate personal information, duplicate accounts, closed accounts reported as open, and paid-off debt appearing as unpaid.
A credit report is like an x-ray into a person's finances, and having incorrect information on that report can stop a person from getting credit or a loan, renting an apartment, getting a good rate on your insurance, or even getting a job.
You can get your credit report for free every week from each of the major bureaus at annualcreditreport.com. If you do end up finding an error, fix it right away.
You'll want to file a dispute with all 3 credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Include all the evidence you have, like account statements and payment records. Create a paper trail by writing a detailed letter of explanation, and send all of this via certified mail, and keep copies for yourself.
Nestor, now a financial planner, reminds you to check your credit report often.
Put it on your phone to remind yourself, just like you go for a checkup to your doctor, you got to check your credit.
Consumer Reports says adding a note to your credit report file can provide context for future lenders, employers, or landlords, potentially improving their perception of your financial situation.
Tonight, people from Texas to Iowa are cleaning up after a weekend of severe weather. Reports of 120 or more tornadoes battered America's heartland. Some of the most severe damage is Oklahoma.
Just be advised, all of downtown Sulphur is destroyed.
A tornado outbreak killed at least 5 people, including a 4-month-old baby. More than 100 others were injured. Buildings and homes were leveled, leaving some trapped under the rubble. Heavy rains led to multiple flash flood warnings in Texas. One car caught fire while submerged in floodwaters in Beaumont. There are no reports of injuries.
Firefighters believe lightning caused a fire in St. Charles. The clock tower at the Three Flags Center caught fire during overnight storms. The office and retail building is located on 5th Street, right off I-70 and Ameristar Boulevard. Firefighters were able to contain the fire to the clock tower.
Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo. He's here with the weather first forecast in for Scott Connell. And
well, it was so noisy last night, wasn't it?
It was so noisy.
So loud, and I'm here to say it's clearing, so it's much, much better. We are going to be dry for probably, I would say, until tomorrow night. There is a chance to see a shower or a thunder shower in here overnight tomorrow night. A little bit more on that now, but good flying weather at the moment. Look at this. A picture sent in from Greg, Mount Olive, Illinois, about 2 inches of rainfall. Yeah, a lot of us saw that. So the current front is just to the east of us. Showers and storms out ahead of it, so it's not too far from here. And over the last 24 hours, the estimate of the rainfall, most of it 1 to 2 inches, but there were 4-inch amounts across the area. Rivers, creeks, streams are all running very high. Dylan sent this in from the Big River. Boy, that's really high. So minor flooding, can you believe it, after a drought. Now we're seeing river levels rising, but crests are expected. Most of them are expected to crest later this week. Minor flooding at all points, and this is the highest St. Louis along the Mississippi has been since October 2019. So just to show you the drought monitor, it's over for St. Louis City and County, north, west, and east. But this area here probably will see a big improvement when that next drought monitor comes out on Thursday, because we've had so much rainfall. So the weather headlines: clearing into tonight, patchy fog because of the wet ground out there, and bright, beautiful Tuesday. But watch this. A chance of showers in here, 11 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll see this disturbance move through the upper levels of the atmosphere and push into the region. So even Wednesday morning before sunrise, a chance of showers and thunder. Then we'll watch late Wednesday. Another little piece of energy comes our way. But most of the severe weather chances definitely going to stay out to the west of us for Tuesday and into Wednesday. So for 2 days here, we don't have to worry about that severe weather. It will be close to Kansas City and into Kansas, but then we'll watch for Thursday and Friday. It still doesn't look like a big severe weather setup, but a chance of rain in here, and the best chance of rain for the week is definitely Thursday night into Friday. It's going to be warm too. We've got some 80s for you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then as we get into Friday, cooler weather as that rain comes to an end. And then next week, still a spotty chances of rain in here, but temperatures in the 80s.
But no severe weather, it looks like, in our future.
Yeah, it doesn't. The best chance is definitely around Kansas City.
So far.
So far, yeah. We'll keep you posted.
All right, Jim, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, the Cardinals are doing really good at something this season. The Billikens are doing something really good in recruiting, and I think Brady Cook did a really good job in tonight's hit and run.
Fair St. Louis is out. Celebrate St. Louis is in. The city announced a new 4th of July celebration on the Arch Grounds today. It's a one-day event on the 4th that will feature old favorites like America's Birthday Parade, live music, an air show, family fun zone. There will also be a 150th anniversary celebration for the Eads Bridge, plus a salute to the troops and folds of honor. The day will cap off with a fireworks spectacular framed by the Arch.
A Missouri singer-songwriter is in the Metro East shooting a new music video. Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats filmed in downtown Belleville today. Local actors and production crews were used. Rateliff was born in St. Louis and grew up in Hermann, Missouri. He picked Belleville for its nostalgic look.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.